I didn't want to feel shame or guilt or told I was wrong or bad or anything else. And a lot of that is what I would have faced then. All right, let's jump in. We're back. SimplyKarafying. I'm Kara. We know the drill here. Let's just jump into it. Let's go. Let's go. Why do so many people ignore red flags in the beginning? Why? Does it seem like because you get so swept up and you're so happy with all the rush of things, the butterflies and everything else, that you just get bombarded by the good stuff, that the stuff that might make you be like, that just kind of flutters away like it's just gone, right? Why can we excuse so much in the beginning just to hold on to that really good feeling? Well, apparently there is a reason, right? But I had to be the one to ask, so let's go ahead. Why do so many people ignore red flags, especially in the beginning of a relationship? Ignoring red flags often stems from a complex mix of biological, psychological, and societal factors that can override even the most obvious warning signs. Okay, so there are some factors in here. And this might be an eye-opener to some. And that's what I hope to gain with these or hope to give with these episodes, right? It's just a little bit of nuggets you might not even know you were looking for. But hey, I've had several people say, "Oh man, you had such a good point," whatever. Listen, I am an outsider. The things that I say, the stories that I tell, those are part of things that I've experienced or others close or whatever. Okay, so I'm not like pulling everything out of my ass, but there are people, like, I have the same conversations with some people. And sometimes, like, the deja vu feeling is completely real. Where it's like, didn't we already go over this? So let's break it down. Like, why? Because everyone goes through this, myself included. Okay. All right. Biological blindness. Yeah. During the early infatuation stage, the brain is flooded with dopamine and oxytocin, which can physically hijack judgment. Okay. And make red flags seem almost impossible to spot. I mean, there you go. The butterflies, right? You're so overwhelmingly happy that you don't care about the little things, because in that moment, your high is so good that who cares if he does this one thing that annoys you, or who cares if she, acts a certain way around other people. It's just like, it's fine. It's part of their personality, or it was a mistake. If it's ringing a bell in any kind of way, just keep going. Like, just hold on. Cognitive biases. The primary effect leads us to make snap positive assessments, while confirmation biases causes us to selectively look for evidence that supports that good first impression while tuning out contradictions. So basically, we're trying to see the best in people. Okay, and chalking up anything negative to nerves or, mistakes or, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even our fault. Our brain hijacks itself. Like, just it. Okay, we're going to keep going, okay? Societal pressure and scarcity. These are for my women over 30, okay? Many women are conditioned to believe that there is a scarcity of good partners, particularly at the age of 30 and above, leading them to settle for the bare minimum to avoid being alone, as in the "I'm fine" bracket. Okay? Let's say you've been with somebody for the last 10 years. The first 3 years were absolutely magical. Butterflies came and went, like it was just, oh my gosh, he touched me. Oh my God. Year 4 and 5, definite drop off. A change, whether there was a kid or a change in jobs or we moved or, everything just kind of, the newness wore off, And as soon as that newness is gone, Some people are over it. You know, they don't have to put on the show anymore. Like, we don't have to go on dates. We've been together for this long. Like, there's nothing there that I have to wonder about. The whole thing is just like totally predictable. Like, we're those people now. And so let's just exist. Years 6 and 7, it's really isolating feeling, right? Because everything that drew you to them in the first place is completely gone or very, very dim. Only comes out on a rare occasion. And that sucks. So now we're in years, 9 and 10. And, well, okay. Well, because I know Betty and Steve, they're the same way. And my mom and dad are the same way. So, I mean, this is just normal now. So, been with them 10 years. So, yeah. Now I'm older. Now I've got more baggage. Like, who would want me? So, it's alright. I'm fine. P.S. We've done an episode on I'm fine and what that really means. This is what it looks like. Definitely check it out if you need to. But hey, there are 8 billion people. Okay? Let me make sure I'm getting this right. 8.3. There are 8.3 billion people as of 2026. And 349 million just in the US alone. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of bodies. Even if you cut that in half, gender-wise, and then you cut that in half for age-appropriate whatever, that's still a lot of fucking people, okay? Have you ever been in a room with 30 people? That's a lot of people. 50? More. Have you ever been in a fucking concert and stadium where there's thousands of people? Okay, well, there's even more than that in the fucking country, which means that the schlub over on your couch over there, who doesn't see you, who doesn't make you feel seen, he could be replaced if needed. Just saying. You don't have to be fine. Okay? Life is too short for just meh. Like, okay. Normalize trauma. Okay? If unhealthy behaviors were present in childhood or previous relationships, the nervous system may register toxic patterns as familiar rather than dangerous. As in, this is what my mom and dad's relationship was like, so this is totally fine and normal. Which is all good and great for some relationships. But have you ever looked at some relationships and some people and then see their children end up like exactly like that? And as an outsider, you're like, oh my God, you are your mother's child. You are your father's child. Like, it's not always a good thing. Listen to the tone in that. Like, let me see. All right. Manipulation and gaslighting. Partners may use tactics like love bombing or intense early affection to build a reservoir of good parts that bury future bad behavior. Okay? So, in the beginning, calls you all the time, texts you all the time, wants to see you as much as he can, buys you things, gets you gifts, all this stuff, gets you in this fucking cloud 9 experience, right? Where you're holding on and you're just like, oh my God, he's the sweetest guy I've ever known. He loves me so much. He gets me. And then a couple months goes by and the calls have been cut in half, the texts even more so, the gifts, meh. He doesn't need to do that anymore. So then it's like, oh, well, I mean, we were just starting and he's busy and we already know different stuff now and the fucking excuse fill in, right? And then it's like the farther away you get from that early stage, the more you're like, well, honeymoon stage is over, blah, blah, blah. And then that's it. Like, you're just like, people who excuse the shit away act like you're only ever meant to be really, really happy in the beginning, which is not right? It should be, now I'm just gonna lay this out. It is not going to be, 1,000 fucking butterflies, you know, floating on cloud nine all the time. Of course not. Like, let this reality, right? Like, we're not living in Wonderland, but you know what I mean? But it doesn't have to be really, really good and then steady decline for the rest of your life. And I feel like a lot of relationships do go that way. And a lot of people are told that that's normal, that this stage was just to, like the peacock stage, really just to shake the feathers and get you. And then once he's got you, then, you know, that's just it. You know, now you're just two people that exist together. And it's not like he has to try to keep you because you're already there, so whatever. And that's the wrong attitude to have. Let's be honest about that. Let's be honest that you should never, ever stop dating. Never get to the point where you're like, I can go ahead and just do whatever the fuck I want because they're already here and they're never going to leave and blah, 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 blah. I don't have to do anything. I can just, you know, if I want to be great today, obnoxious tomorrow, no consequences, whatever. I mean... Come on. Okay. Why? This is why women should stop excusing red flags. Fun takeaway story real quick. Let's jump back, like, I'm not going to say how many years, but some years. Friend of mine, this was like, we'll say school time. Okay? It was story time. There you go. Popular person, not so popular person, you know the whole deal. You've seen this movie, right? Behind closed doors, this was before cell phones and everything, so like online chatting and everything else, phone calls, whatever, every day. They get together, hook up, probably, multiple times. However, in school, it's like she didn't exist, right? Just kind of blew past her, like, and that was somehow okay with her. That was like an understanding that they had, right? That, look, I'll talk to you until you pass out and go to sleep at night, but do not come up to me in the daytime. She had told me about this and I didn't get it, right? Like I didn't understand, because it would feel horrible, especially if you liked this person as much as she seemed to, right? Like, if you have the opportunity to be around this person, why wouldn't you want to? Like, why wouldn't you want to talk to him or go sneak a handhold or whatever? You know what I mean? Pass him a note or be flirty and cute and blah, blah, blah. But to know that you can't fucking do that, like, why? I didn't understand. And then at one point, it was like lunch and she had dropped something off of her tray or whatever as he's walking by, and he called her like a nasty pig or something. I'm sorry, what? What? Motherfucker? For real? It was after that it was kind of, like, it still went on, but she got upset about it, rightly so. And then eventually she started to, like, wake up a little bit, but, like, why does it have to go that far for somebody to be like, oh, hey, yeah, I should not be treated like this? You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. The thing about it is, red flag is barely an isolated incident. They might show up as tiny little sprinkles, right? Little nuggets of inconvenience or, you know, not so great cutesy things, but I'm telling you, barely ever is it just a one whoops and then it's just gone. No. If you notice something again and again, they're not mistakes. Those are patterns, right? And especially if they start off subtle in the beginning, typically they escalate later on. So if you notice from the beginning, for the love of God, trust your gut. This is like the thing that, I can't say enough. Trust your gut. I try really, really, really hard to drill this into my kids, okay? I really do. It's not something that I can fucking teach, though. And this is what hurts. This is what hurts as a parent. We can tell our kids. Now, I could not always go to my parents, okay? Different upbringings, different whatever. I didn't want to feel shame or guilt or told I was wrong or bad or anything else. And a lot of that is what I would have faced then. Different circumstances now, I will say. But then I didn't have that kind of space. Okay? And that's not great. Like, I'm not going to come down on them for that. I'm just saying what it is because that's what it was. If I needed advice about other things, I sought it from other people. And this is where the thing has kind of changed for my kids and I. Like, my kids are so fucking comfortable telling me anything. They will go into detail about what the fuck they did in the bathroom. Like, it doesn't matter. We just don't have that gap. There's no, like, wonder. They don't sit there and look at me and wonder if it's okay if they tell me something, right? Like, they can just blurt it out because that's what I've established this entire fucking time, that there's nothing you can't say to me, okay? There's nothing that's going to make me look at you in another way. And damn sure, like, reaffirming things that I wasn't constantly fucking told, you know? Like, you are braver, you are stronger, you're smarter, you're more beautiful, all of these things than you think you are. And I don't know how they still have insecurities at some point, because everyone does, you know? But that's what, like, as a mom who, like, constantly pumps this shit out into the air, when they don't take it to heart, like, it really just, But intuition is something that develops, okay? Especially if you get continuously screwed over. Your brain starts to pick up on patterns and things, and red flags and everything else are easier to spot the more you've been screwed over if you're not paying attention. And it sucks that you have to go through that kind of shit, but a lot of times you do. And, okay, self-gaslighting. Do you know that was a thing? Every time you rationalize away someone's fucking behavior or red flag or whatever, okay? Every time you do that, you are eroding your own self-trust. You are saying, no gut, you're wrong. And the thing about it is, it's so sad to think that so many people push themselves into a corner just so that they don't disappoint the person that's fucking disappointing them. Like, it's an insane fucking hamster wheel. It really is. So, like, it's almost like they know these things are going to stack up and start happening. It's almost like they know, like, it's an inevitable situation where, okay, if this person is kind of crummy in the beginning and then, yes, it staggerly gets, worse, it's almost like they know that it's coming. But they still have that little bit of hope for all that shit they felt in the beginning. So they just want to delay it. The gut feeling thing. That's something that, it's a lesson in itself. This is something that should be taught, like, as part of growing up to anybody. And I mean, they don't in school or whatever, but you should definitely have these kind of talks with your kid. So trusting your gut is often your body's way of processing subtle information long before your conscious mind catches up. It's like, notice when you're totally relaxed with somebody and you're sitting in a room, notice how you're sitting, how you're breathing, how your body is. It's relaxed, you're able to breathe deep. Remember the last time you were around somebody that made you be like, where your whole body like tenses up, whether it's how they're looking at you, how they're talking to someone, how they're just fucking standing there all creepy. Like, did you pick on something like that? Could you pick up something like that? If you did, that's your gut, okay? That's your intuition. Because you know nothing about this person. Could be the sweetest person in the room. However, there is something that pinged off your nervous system, your second brain, if you will, and triggered it as we're not fine, okay? So just be on, like, alert. It's like your body's fucking alert system before you have all of the facts. And that is generally a good thing to listen to. Okay? Whether it's your body sensing familiar things from your past, or things that you've seen, or things that, just generally aren't your everyday situation. It's not something that should be ignored. Okay? And yet, so many people do it. So, red flags are things in people that generally don't just blip away. Okay? It's not something that just accidentally shows up. Okay? I don't ever want someone to feel like they have to excuse someone's shit just because they don't want to be alone. Because think about this. A lot of it comes down to people not wanting to be alone. And that's heartbreaking in so many reasons, right? Because one, there's so many different people. And what I tell my daughters is, look, if somebody's treating you as their second priority or worse, there is somebody out there who will always treat you as their top priority. Which means, like anything else that people like, they will make time for it. They will prioritize for what they like, who they like. And that's just it. So if someone's treating you like total trash, they're probably trash. In some form or fashion, they're probably trash. And think about it like this. You are going to be deserted on a fucking island, and you have the option to be with somebody you absolutely can't stand, or you're alone. Do you know how many people would rationalize keeping that other person just because it's another person? I mean, you don't know how long you're going to be there. You don't know how helpful they are or not, but you don't like them. You don't align with them. So for the people who would say, well, obviously I'd rather be alone, because that sounds horrible. Okay, well, relationships are like your own little island, all right? Holy cow. The fuck? So just remember that if you aren't willing to sit on an island with somebody that's not great for you, you definitely don't want to just be stuck, locked in with someone who's not great for you. All right? So remember, trust your gut, all of these things. And if any of this resonated with you, or you like these kind of topics, if it was kind of eye-opening in any kind of way, or maybe you know somebody that could benefit from hearing these kind of things and you don't want to be that guy, I'm always that guy. Always that guy. Anyway, go ahead and, click on that subscribe button, follow all the fun things, and that way you can keep up with me and all the crazy shit we talk about, because there is a lot. With that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Remember, trust your gut. You need to, because some people are just shitty, but whatever, red flag. Woo! Have a good one.